Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Guadeloupe. Where on earth are we in Guadeloupe? We are here with the Caribbean colored theme, Cessna 172. And we are at, if my mind does not, this is Desirade. It's a little airport on an island off the southeast corner of Guadeloupe, and this is a really pretty cool. It's a really pretty cool thing. So let's go. Rotating beacon on. Mixture is rich. There is no carb heat. Master and battery switches on. Avionics master switches on. Let's crack the throttle. Trying to get this going before I turn the engine over, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see my RPMs when I start up. So, alright, engage the starter. Good start. Magneto's back to both. Throttle to 1,000 RPM. Oil pressure coming up, looking good. Alright, let's go 122.8. There's one thing I forgot to do that I was going to do before I flew, but that's okay. It makes no difference. 122.8. Let's get us a altimeter setting. 1016 on the altimeter. So I'm just basically in Microsoft Flight Simulator Sim Update 10, which is what we are flying. What I've been doing is just cranking my graphics settings up because I have so much headroom. I still have a ton more, and I mean the graphics quality is awesome, and I just gotta keep turning it up, and it makes no difference. And what I mean is, like, it doesn't so what I'm looking for, let's leave the mixture for taxi. Nav and strobe lights on, taxi light on. Okay. It doesn't put much more of a load on my GPU, or my CPU for that matter. So, brakes are engaged. Let's release the parking brake. I mean, my GPU is running a little bit harder than it was yesterday with some lighter settings, but I mean, I just turned the what was it, terrain level of detail to ultra. And in the age of COVID, I have a really bad case of allergies, and my coughing, which makes you a little self-conscious in this day and age, but that's okay. Let's go. Landing light on. Desirade traffic. Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo is back taxiing runway 9er for departure, Desirade. So, I mean, I've got, pretty much everything set to ultra at this point. Okay, GPU is now running at about 92%. Yesterday it was running 78%, 76, 78. So it is working a little harder, but guess what? Everything looks amazing. All right, so one thing you always want to make your. Notice how they always have this. At least not always, but they oftentimes have this little turning area to the left. as you're back taxiing. The reason is when you're the pilot, you can then turn and see as you make your turn onto the runway. Alright, so let's see, how long is this runway? 1900 feet, that's plenty. I'll put in a notch of flaps. I don't know what the proper setting is on this airplane. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I'm just flying it because it's fun. Squawk out there. Actually, I'm flying it because it's got a little bit more weight than the 152. The 152 is actually a lot more fun. So, mixture rich. Lights are on. I want to turn the fuel pump on. Alright, Deseret traffic. Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo taking runway 9er for departure to the east. Deseret. So really takes some oomph to get this plane moving in some instances. Alright, let's get on the center line. Alright, mixture is rich. Takeoff power coming in. 2350 is great. Oil pressure is fine. Parking brakes are released. Left rudder as only found in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Airspeed is alive. 55. And off we go. And I've been having a discussion with somebody online about the left rudder requirement in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this person is convinced that I have some sort of control issue that's causing it, and that you don't really need left rudder rather on takeoff. Whereas I know for sure that you need left rudder on takeoff, and that it's not a control issue, because as soon as I leave the ground, this mysterious control issue goes back to completely normal. You know, I need right rudder in the climb, which of course is perfectly normal. So why would I need right rudder in the climb, not need right rudder on the ground? It's certainly not a control issue as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, and yeah, it certainly is a testy day out here, it looks like. So one of the things that I'm going to do on this flight is go up and check out 1,000 feet AGL. Let's turn the fuel pump off. Is go over and check out an airport that I just bought. And I'm just realizing that I had my I had myself backwards. I was not flying out of Deseret, I am flying to Deseret. Fortunately, there's no traffic around to know the difference. cruise it over here and stay at 2,500. So I want to go do a little tour of the island of Guadeloupe. Well, it's actually not the island of Guadeloupe, is it? It is the island of Grande Terre and Basse-Terre. And yes, there is a 100% chance that I'm pronouncing those incorrectly and embarrassing myself. Because my French is rather limited, but improving. So the reason, well, a couple things. So the big reason I'm interested in Guadeloupe is that my girlfriend and I are going here in 2 months, and I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait to go. I think it's going to be a really cool place. And the other reason why I'm doing this exact flight right now is because I just bought a scenery. Anybody who knows my channel and has watched any of my videos knows that I fly, you know, a lot of my flights out of Anguilla. That was my first, I think that was the first pauses, stutters that I've had in Sim Update 10. Those one that you just saw. And the designer of that, or the developer of that scenery on Anguilla, is SLH Sim Designs, and they have done a couple other airports, and one of them is the one I'm going to today. Rather than just flying across the open water and not seeing anything, I figured I'd come over and have a little buzz around Guadeloupe. And get a little look at the island. So now I'm definitely getting some GPU usage, so to speak. Which is, I guess, a good thing, right? I mean, so this way I can kind of you know, get the most that my system can give me while still getting good performance. I mean, I have to say, like, The Sim Update 9 performance is outstanding. Really, really outstanding. Another thing that I keep forgetting to do is turn the traffic back on. I'm relatively certain that I have traffic pretty much turned off. And look at how clean the underside of that wing looks now with the textures turned up a little higher. That just looks awesome. That's one thing I hadn't noticed. That the airplane itself, the textures on the airplane itself, are a lot crisper now. I mean, look at there's depth to the water now. I mean, I think the water's always looked great. I think the water's always looked great. I think the water masking has gotten better and better and better and better. But like now there's depth to the water too. It's just, I mean, look at it right here. I move my cursor away. Like there's depth to this water. It's just amazing. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it would look like if we were here. But I mean, I'm certainly pretty impressed. You can see these two airplanes right here, right there and right there, and this as well, as a matter of fact, up here. This is Air France. That's Air France flight 792 in real life. It is, and these two here are smaller aircraft. Blackfin, which is out of St. Bart's. I'll tell you, one of the things that is being discussed quite a lot within the beta, and everybody can read the forums, so I don't think I'm telling anybody any secrets that I'm not supposed to be telling. But one of the discussions within the beta and the beta testers, and actually the big thread on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forums was started by yours truly, talking about the, gosh, this water just looks amazing, talking about the turbulence. And let's see, there's somebody over here coming in. Yeah, see him right there? That is live traffic. And then out this way somewhere, oh, he's out over top of the hill there. He's a plane out of St. Bart's. But you can see the plane, you know, moving around quite a bit in the air, right? It's definitely not steady and stable. Well, guess what? This is what flying is really like. And not to, well, you know what? I was going to say not to stick my nose into a political debate, but I will stick my nose into a political debate. It's actually not a political debate. If you want to know about the weather and if the weather has changed, you know, the kind of the climate change debate, which is an idiotic debate, any pilot who is not willing to say that the weather is different today than it was 10 years ago is full of doo-doo, because there are no there's another hiccup there. There are really no completely smooth days anymore in aviation. You're always going to have some sort of turbulence. And that's just reality. That's just reality. And I bet you, and if you hear anybody who kind of relies on the water for their living, for their livelihood, you know, anybody in fishing or, you know, anything like that, and they all say the same thing too. Just, you know, things ain't the same. You know, things just ain't the same. And in any event, the debate going on within the beta for the simulator is like, how realistic is it? You know, because if you go back and look at old videos, I mean, the airplane is pretty stable. You know, particularly the small airplanes. Bigger airplanes, kind of expect them to be a bit more stable. But this, kind of this constant movement of the airplane, is realistic. And I'll tell you what, when you are, I just did my instrument currency this weekend, which when you're an instrument rated pilot, you have to have, within any 6-month period, you have to have done, and there's Air France right over here, should be. Air France should be, there it is. Air France right there. It's also hard to see airplanes in the sky, by the way, in real life. If you're an instrument rated pilot in the US, within the previous 6 months, you have to have done 6 instrument approaches, holding patterns, and what they call intercepting and tracking courses using navigation systems. So anyway, I went out and did that last weekend, because I needed my approaches for instrument currency, and I will tell you that flying small airplanes, especially under the hood, which is when you're simulating instrument conditions, you put on like a mask or a pair of glasses that covers anything above this. So basically all you see is the instrument panel. Boy, it gets tiring after a while. It really does, because you just kind of it can be gross, really. So this is a pretty well-known hotel. I forget what it's called, but we're coming up on the beach where I'm going to be staying. So this is the beach where the Death in Paradise shack is built. And this is the beach where I'm going to be staying. So yes, this is the real purpose of my flight today, is to see where I'm going to be staying. I'm going to be staying in a little cabin right here. This is called Grand Anse, this beach. I'm going to be staying like right there. And this is the little village of Dehe, where the Honoré police station is. That's the fictitious capital of the fictitious place of Saint Marie. Right here is like where Catherine's bar is, and that's where the police station is, right there. The Honoré police station. I wouldn't do this in a real airplane, by the way. Yeah, the plane makes some landing. Probably shouldn't laugh because people have done things like this and killed themselves. So the place I'm going to be staying is going to be right in here somewhere, right in here. So anyway, and this is like, I forget exactly what it's called. This hotel right over here, the Governors or something like that, the Federal something, I don't know. But if you ever watch the show, this is where the beach, this is where the detective's shack is built. And this is where the cast and crew stay. Well, not, the crew anyway, I don't know. The cast stays there. So. Alright, well now I've gotten the lay of the land a little bit. Let's see, 063 is a good heading right now for
Vital 6 traffic in the next for 694. Check heading for runway 12. Vital pit traffic in the next for 694 backtracking 12.
if I can get alright, there we go.
Vital pit traffic in the next for 694 taking up runway 12.
And that's somebody else on VATSIM. Gonna be taking off out of that airport right there. Keep an eye on him. So, what I wanted to do today was put the system under a bit of a heavier load, see how it does. It definitely is aware that it is under a further load. CXI 694 is airborne. But I mean, the performance is really good. Visuals look amazing. Airplane still wants to climb. So he is airborne and southbound, so that's him right there. I'll let you in on another secret. Flying small airplanes can be boring. One of the things that my instructor always told me was that cross countries are boring. He said that the thing that's fun about flying airplanes is going up and coming down. So the rest of it's pretty boring. And he's right. That island right out there that you can see on the horizon is where we are going. So if you're really going to talk about kind of exciting flying, I've always said that I'm not really interested in exciting flying, because the type of flying that I do, if it's exciting, that means something went wrong. So the weather, (1015) is the altimeter now. So I don't even know if I set the backup altimeter. Don't think I really did. Quite a lot of airports out here on, or in Guadeloupe, I guess. I shouldn't say on Guadeloupe, because Guadeloupe is not an island, but, let's see here. Elevation of 9 feet. At Desirade. And there's another airport right up here. Yep. St. Francois, excuse me. I think it's probably right there. There's another hitch. I really can't wait to go out to Guadeloupe. I think it's going to be really pretty exciting. And I can't tell whether that is. Those are windmills, or if that's like something wacky on the. Some people have been getting like really kind of weird simulator, like weird artifacts. Kind of a cool view. Oh, look at that, you can land right there if you wanted to. You're a pretty good airport if you had to do it. Before I got my instrument rating, I didn't really like long straight-in finals because I think it just gives you more time to contemplate what's going on. And my original instrument instructor said, yeah, you better get over that because the instrument flight is about long straight-in finals. And I am about to do a pretty long straight-in final to runway 9 at Grand Anse. So this airport, you really can't even see St. Francis until you're right on top of it, which is it's gonna be right here. Yeah, Air France climbing out right over top of me here. Just gonna angle off a little here. That's Marie Galante is the name of that island. Right there. I don't know what the story of that is because it's kind of unusual to name an island like that, you know? St. Francois traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo overflying the field at 2,500 west to east, St. Francois. I don't think there's any traffic, but at least we can we can make our presence known, right? So I wonder how many people. I should probably do, because one of the things that I really wanted to do is showcase the airport that I'm landing at and the awesome developer who did that airport. But my guess is not a lot of people are going to watch this entire video. In fact, I would guess that nobody is going to watch this entire video of me flying around Guadeloupe at 100 knots. Grand onset traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo is 10 miles to the west, inbound runway 9er, Grand onset. So, I have announced my presence. How cool is that? That in the back left over there is the airport that we took off out of. Or the, excuse me, the island that has the airport that we took off out of. So, it's not Grand Onset Airport, it's Desirade, which makes me a bonehead. I think I'm basically right on final. I literally think I'm on a straight in final right now. And this is the weird part, like that I was talking about earlier for final, like long final approaches, just because they're just, it's weird. I don't know what it is. Like, I guess the better control you have of your airplane, the less you care about, you know, the long straight in final, or the less you sweat the long straight in final. You know, because it is a long period of being precise. Hour back, 110 is the flap speed. I'm gonna put that first notch in. Desirade traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo is on a 5-mile final, runway 9er, Desirade. Desirad traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, 3 mile final, runway 9er, Desirad. You can see there's a right crosswind. I'm gonna go fuel pump on. Flaps are set. Mixture is rich.
Runway 09.
Nah, I can't have you pitching up right now, please. Desirad traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, short final 09er Desirad. And see, this is. I have no power in. No power in right now. And the airplane is not even descending. Desirad traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo going around. Establish a positive rate of climb. First notch of flaps. Positive rate of climb. Second notch of flaps. That's, I mean, I think that the turbulence is realistic, but honestly, when you have an airplane, well, you know what? I think I was high the entire time. And I think I would have done a little bit better to get down. Desirad traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, right crosswind, and making a right pattern for runway 09er, Desirad. And that is Sargassum, is it not, right there? Put in that first notch of flaps. Okay. That. Well, maybe it's not. Alright, there's second notch of flaps, power to 1900. Start our descent here. Gosh, what a beautiful view. Desirad traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo making a right base for runway 9er, Desirad. that 9 over on my right hand tick mark there. And I can make a pretty tight turn because I'm turning into the wind, so. Deseret traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, turning a 2-mile final, runway 09er, Deseret. You're not going to get me twice. Deseret traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, short final 109er, Deseret. Boy, this is a wrestling match. Alright, lead the mixture. Yeah, I mean, landing small airplanes can be a wrestling match, that's for sure. Deseret traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, backtracking runway 9er, Deseret. And I mean, all of a sudden, these airplanes have no turning radius. I mean, none. And whenever you're backtracking, you want to back taxiing, pardon me, you want to have full, you want to have all your lights on. Because the entire purpose is to be seen, see and be seen. Am I going to the wrong end here? I apparently am. No, okay. I'm good. Cool little airport. Deseret traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo is clear the runway, Deseret. Alright, mixture idle, cutoff, throttle is idle. Put on the parking brake.
Deseret traffic on the NX Express 694, currently 10 miles south at 1,500 feet. Landing at Deseret using runway 09.
Cool. Avionics master off. Well, actually, no. Let me turn the avionics master back on and see if that's what my radios are running on. I don't think so. But I do want to hear this guy coming. Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, all my lights are off. Mags are off. The which is the word I'm looking for? The now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. And there we go. I left my flaps up. Or down, rather. So, there's somebody coming in on runway 9. And why don't we use that opportunity? Yeah, there he comes. There he is right there. Watch this. Check that out. How cool. So this is the little Deseret airport. I think this cost me $5. And cool little airport.
Deseret traffic, Canadian Express 694, 5 miles south, 1,500 feet, gonna enter right base 09.
You can tell this guy's actually a pilot. And you can just tell by his radio calls. Trying to get this completely level. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, looks pretty good, right? Sorry for annoying you. I know that's probably really annoying. But you know what? I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive, so I want to get this like perfectly. This is gonna be really cool to see how he does. So let's see how this dude does. This is an actual VATSIM landing.
Deseret traffic, Canadian Express 694, final 09, Deseret.
See if he does a better job than I did, which means he will actually land the first time around. You should really get it down within this first kind of area. Otherwise, he's going to have a tough time getting it down and stopped. Yeah, I feel you, man. It's not easy right now. Yep, told you. So I wonder what he's actually flying, because
Visit at traffic in Net Express 694, backtracking 09.
and
Visit at traffic in Net Express 694, cleared at 09.
oh, he's in a Twin Otter. Traffic that just landed at Desirade. What's your call sign again? I don't know if you didn't hear me or things. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. CXA 694, this is Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo. Are you on the ground at Desirade? He is, but he's not going to answer. So, anyway. So, oh, look at this. Anybody who's ever been to the Caribbean is going to recognize this building here. Hold on. These little buildings. A bus stop. You get a lot of those either bus stops or fruit stands or what have you. It's going to be the longest, most pointless video I think I've ever made. It's not pointless though. It's actually pretty cool video, in my humble opinion. And these buildings are really common too. These low concrete buildings. Anyway, so that was my flight into Desirade. Good times. A little bit of an island tour, and look around the airfield here at Desirade. Hope you guys are doing well.